Guys, it's Houston Sports That back into the video today, and today the Sacramento Kings eliminate the Golden State Warriors in the NBA play-in tournament, 118-94. And for the Warriors, this has to be a flat-out disappointment in this loss that they lost to the Sacramento Kings this way. I don't think it's embarrassing to lose the Sacramento Kings. They are a good ball. They're a really good ball club. They shoot the ball well and have a very good three-point shooter in Keegan Murray, who showed that today with 8 threes and 32 points. Today they shot 18 for 39 from 3, shot 46%. They have an amazing player like De'Aaron Fox, who continues to show how good of a point guard he is. Today he didn't shoot that well from 3, but great game for him tonight, 20-plus points. Domantas Sabonis has been great this year, has been very good for the Sacramento Kings team. They are a good team. I'm not arguing that because they are a really good team. And these two teams have the same record. So it's not like Sacramento is, it's not like Sacramento's worse than Golden State. These two teams have the same record. Golden State did not lose to a team that was worse than them. They lost to a team who maybe you could say is a little bit better than them. Maybe they have an advantage because they have some size with Domantas Sabonis. The Golden State Warriors, they don't really have size. I mean, Trayce Jackson-Davis, he's all right, but he only played 11 minutes in this ball game. So if you look at the players that are playing the most minutes for the Warriors, it's Draymond, at the big man position, that's Draymond Green and Jonathan Kuminga. Those guys going up against Domantas Sabonis, it's like, the Kings have a size advantage. But I think for the Warriors to lose this badly is embarrassing. I really do. Lose by 24 points. I know it's on the road. The Warriors have actually played good on the road this year, which is different than last season. If you guys remember last year, the Warriors were terrible on the road. They could not win ball games on the road. But this year, they were actually better on the road than they were at home, which is a little bit surprising, at least to me, compared to what they were last year. But I just think this loss is embarrassing. And I also want to go over the fact that 2 second-year players and Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray almost outscored the entire Golden State Warriors starting lineup. To me, that is another embarrassing stat in this ballgame. Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray, two guys who are second-year players. 32 points for Keegan Murray and 15 points for Keon Ellis, and they nearly outscored the entire starting lineup for the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry, 22 points. Andrew Wiggins, 12 points. Trayce Jackson-Davis, 2 points. Draymond Green, 12 points. If I didn't already say that, I think I did. Maybe I didn't. Klay Thompson, 0 points. Golden State starting lineup, 48 points. Sacramento Kings, Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray, 47 points. 47 points from 2 second-year starters. Compare that to the Golden State Warriors' entire starting lineup with 3 Hall of Famers. If you just talk about the 3 Hall of Famers and Steph and Draymond and Klay, these 2 youngsters, these 2 second-year guys, Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray, outscored 3 Hall of Famers and Steph, Draymond, and Klay by a total of 13 points in this ballgame. And also, it's not like these 3 Hall of Famers didn't play a lot of minutes. Yes, Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis played more minutes than all 3 of the guys, but Klay played 32 minutes. Steph played 36 minutes. Draymond played 35 minutes. I think that if you look over that stat, that those 2 guys played so well enough in the game to the point where they nearly outscored Golden State's entire starting lineup and did outscore Golden State's 3 Hall of Famers by a total of 13 points is embarrassing. And I think Golden State's dynasty has been over for a while. People saying Golden State's dynasty is over. This has ended it. Klay's probably gone after this. I think Golden State's dynasty ended last year. I really think their dynasty ended when they won their last championship of the 21-22 season. I think their dynasty, that was the 2020. That was the 21-22 season. I think their dynasty ended when they Here's the exact moment I think the Golden State Warriors ended their dynasty. And I hate to bring it up, but I think the moment the Warriors dynasty ended was when Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole. Because that set up a distraction in the Warriors locker room last year. And I think it really broke a lack of chemistry in the team. A team that wins a championship, you can't start off the year with a fight. A basketball team that wins a championship should not be getting into fights. Draymond punched somebody on the team a year after they won a championship. I don't care if Jordan was talking trash to Draymond. Draymond crosses the line against other players, against other teams' players. That's fine, whatever. But to cross the line with your own teammate, no matter what they say, unless it's very offensive, unless they bring up something about your personal life or your family, it wasn't something like that. I remember hearing what Jordan said to Draymond for him to punch him. It wasn't anything about his family or anything personal that's crossing the line, extremely crossing the line. If it's not extremely crossing the line, you don't punch your own teammate. I think that ruined the Warriors dynasty. I really do, because it broke the Warriors team chemistry. Honestly, if that incident between Draymond and Jordan Poole doesn't happen, I think the Warriors would have had a great chance to gone back-to-back last season and would have been a great threat to the Denver Nuggets. Honestly, I think Golden State probably would have been in the NBA Finals last year if they didn't have that boiling over their heads that incident happened earlier in the season. I think that broke the dynasty for the Golden State Warriors. And then everything that has happened with Draymond this year has gotten... I think it's killed this team. And Clay struggles... And he's off and on, and he's playing good. He's playing great basketball. He's shooting the hell out of the ball, but then he's not playing. Clay's inefficiency and Draymond's behavior issues this season really killed the Golden State Warriors, in my opinion. And Steph, even though Steph had a great season, I'm not going to hate on Steph because he had to roll with a terrible team, in my opinion. Steph had some inconsistency problems this year as well. But I think the Warriors, now that their season's over, now that it's over for them, I think the Golden State Warriors have to focus on the future. They have to focus on guys like Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski. Those guys played great basketball for the Golden State Warriors this season. Someone who had 16 points in 15 minutes tonight, Moses Moody, another youngster who needs... they need to build with their young talent of Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski, Trace Jackson Davis as well. I'm not saying get rid of Curry or Draymond, but they need to I think, in my opinion, they need to get rid of Clay, let Clay walk in free agency. I think this offseason they need to trade guys like Kevon Looney and Andrew Wiggins and build on their future and their youngsters. I really think I think you build the right team around Steph, getting rid of Andrew Wiggins and getting rid of Clay, and the Warriors might be able to take their next level, and try to build a new dynasty. Because Steph still has some time, but I think you got to bring in some help for him. You really do. At the same time, you have to bring in some help for Steph, but at the same time, you have to build on the youngsters on the team, and Trace Jackson Davis and Kuminga and Moody and also Podziemski. But I want to go over the Sacramento Kings, who played a great basketball game today. Keegan Murray had 32 points with 9 rebounds. He shot 8 for 13 from 3. He shot 10 for 20. Keegan Murray's future with this Kings team is insane. I think he's going to be a great player, and man, I think he's going to be... If the Kings can win this game on Friday against the Pelicans, he and the Kings will be interesting to watch in the playoffs. And a potential series against the Thunder, that will be a really good series, in my opinion. I think the Kings have a shot to potentially take down the Thunder if they do make it to the playoffs. They have to win one more game. They play the Pelicans on Friday. They have to win that game. If they don't, their season's over. But if they do win the game against the Pelicans, they will move on to play the Thunder in the first round. But Keegan Murray, 32 points, 24 for De'Aaron Fox with 6 assists, another double-double for Domantas Sabonis. Can't say I'm surprised that he reached another double-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 7 for 14, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 17 for former Golden State Warrior Harrison Barnes, who absolutely lit the Warriors up earlier in the year with like 49 points or something. I couldn't believe when that happened, but Harrison Barnes with another good game against the Warriors. He shot 3 for 4 from 3 tonight. And then Keon Ellis with 15 points and 5 assists and 4 rebounds. He's a really good defensive player as well. 3 steals and 3 blocks today. The effort he makes defensively, look, the shooting and the scoring the basketball from the two young guys, and Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis for the Sacramento Kings, that was not the only thing that were a really good part to the Sacramento Kings in this win over Golden State. I think another big part of what these two guys did was they got to Stephen Curry defensively. They trapped Steph. They played great defense off of Steph, mainly Keon Ellis, but so did Keegan Murray. I thought both of these guys did a really good job defending Steph. Yes, Steph had 22 points, but Steph kind of struggled in this game. He shot 8 for 16. He had trouble getting off good shots in the ball game as well. Ultimately, it wasn't a bad game by Steph, but he was... I think it was a good game compared if you look at how well Steph was being defended by guys like Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray and some of the other Sacramento Kings players. But I think they really got to Steph defensively, and it kind of killed the Warriors. And when you got a team like the Sacramento Kings, a good defensive team with the Kings, when they have two guys like Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray who are going to provide double teams and traps to Stephen Curry, you got to have somebody who's going to be able to knock down and be able, he's going to be able to knock down shots and be able to score the basketball outside of Steph. And the Warriors don't have that. They don't have someone they could trust without Steph. You couldn't trust Clay today. He had 0 points, shot 0 for 10 and 0 for 6. So, I mean, when Steph is being guarded like he was tonight, there was nobody to trust on. Kuminga had a nice 16 points, 7 rebounds, and same thing goes for Moses Moody with 16 points and 15 minutes. But just in my opinion, I think they got to be able to have another good scorer. An elite scorer. When Steph, we've seen this season multiple times by the Sacramento Kings, where Steph is trapped and double teamed and just attacked defensively, and they don't have an elite scorer outside of Steph. Or I'll do you one better, an efficient, good scorer outside of Steph. Because Clay, he can score the basketball, and he's done it this season, but he's inefficient. All right, Kings scoring off the bench. There wasn't that much activity. Trey Lyles had 7 points off the bench, 5 points for Davion Mitchell. That was it in this ball game. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out. And, yeah, that's it.